Welcome back to the Mayor's Update community. We are here with Mayor Joe Preston, our host, and we're hoping we get a lot of questions. We had some comments earlier this week about the last one saying they weren't able to ask live, so hopefully those people are able to join us tonight and ask their questions live. They've got apparently some hard-hitting questions, and we're here for that.
Well, and Graydon, you know that even between shows, if you go on the last show to watch, many people don't see us live. We hope you're all watching us live right now. But if you watch it later in the week and you have questions based on the show that you're on, ask the questions on that show. We pick up the comments and questions from that show to try and answer them the following week. So please, we want to hear St. Thomas open forum questions and give you the best answers we can. And we've gone back a few years, a few shows ago and done those things, so we know we can.
Timothy Hedden is asking about adding a co-mayor. I don't think that's in our constitution, is it?
No, well, Tim is a little bit freedom-like. We could do it if we need to. Tim, I noticed you filed your papers this week, and should you be elected, we'll look at vice mayor or assistant mayor occasionally. I only appoint when I'm going to be away. Our city does not have a position of deputy mayor, but we just turned it over, as I had to a couple weeks ago. Gary Clark chaired the meeting, and it's really whose turn is it that time. But Tim, if you were elected, you would be, it would be your turn for sure. But Tim, thank you for joining us. Right?
And Margaret says hi. Margaret McKnight. Hello, Margaret. Welcome to the show.
Right.
Love seeing you out here.
Yeah.
All right. So
we were at a great event last night. I want to, before we move on this week, I want to talk. We were at the Home Builders, the St. Thomas Elgin Home Builders Association's summer barbecue. It's their trades barbecue, and they do a couple things. There is the members of the St. Thomas Home Builders kind of take a night off and have some good camaraderie. And it was great to see our home builders and so a lot of the skilled trades people out there. But also they recognize students who have been in the skilled trades or working with our home builders through co-ops and the like last night. So it was great to see that too. People from teachers from our local schools and students from our local schools. And I know that our newly elected member of provincial parliament was out there last night too, because look, we can't say thank you enough to the people building housing in a housing crisis. So thank you. And I know you were there last night covering it. And so there's some great pictures. I went through them today, and there's only 4 of the back of my head. No, I'm just, it was a fun night out at Wildflowers Farm, which is really a lovely place to do a summer event, a winter event, any event, I guess. So perfect to be there last night. And
well, they have air conditioning in the summertime inside of their enclosed space. Now that is fantastic on a day like last night.
Yeah, and for those that use it for a wedding or a company function, you'll want that too. And it was just a gorgeous set of grounds. Fantastic place to be. So, good on them. It was great for them to host the home builders and skilled trades last night. And Angela did most of the work for last night again too. So just a shout out to Angela DeVries and the great work she does with the St. Thomas and Elgin home builders. And we've mentioned her like 5 shows in a row now. So,
and she was on one of our shows as well because she organized the home show just like a couple weeks ago, which is just like that's a lot of work.
We're just going to not talk about her for a whole week.
No,
it doesn't matter what she does. You could save a baby. We're not going to. No,
she's probably going to save the world, and then we'll have to say something, I think.
Right.
And Margaret McKnight is mentioning the rail property grass, and I think we've talked about this before.
Yep.
And it's the railway's responsibility.
Yeah, it is. And truly, you're not supposed to be trespassing onto the railway property. So, we'll if you use our customer service system or any other way of letting people know where you see tall grass or property standards that aren't there. Look, and I'm going to tell you, even the best trimmed golf courses got some areas they wish they could cut faster with the way first of all, the rains and now the hot sun has been making them grow. But I'm not forgiving them by all means. But you're right. If you're on the Railway City property, look out. I've heard of people getting fines for trespassing on the rail property. So let's let's ask the railway to do their bit, but let's not be walking on railways we're not supposed to walk on anyways.
Mm-hmm. And what's the city doing these days?
Oh, we've got, I guess the biggest thing coming up is the detour of Sunset. And it was to happen yesterday. It was supposed to start yesterday, but in most construction projects this year, we're having some supply issues, some manpower issues, and there's been some heavy rains too. So not excusing it. I mean, most of these people have a date they have to complete by. But this is the one where we're supplying wastewater ability and water ability to the northwest section of St. Thomas so that next year we can start building homes in that area. So it's quite a hefty contract to move from our wastewater plant on Sunset up Sunset past the roundabout. And that's where the closure will be. From the roundabout, if you're coming in from London, you hit the roundabout, you cannot go south on Sunset till the wastewater treatment plant at Bush Line. Or if you're coming south on Sunset, you'll need to leave Sunset at that point and detour around. Or there'll be lots of signs telling you to detour earlier. Most people from St. Thomas know how to get past that section, but there will be lots of signage telling you how to do it, routing you, down. I won't predict where the detour is. Follow the detour signs. It's the safest way. But we thought if the other reason for the delay, if we could get past this hot weather and Canada Day and not start the project till July 4th, it would make at least one more long weekend of the summer a little more palatable for those trying to get to Port Stanley.
Yep.
So the detour and the construction will start on July 4th.
Very good.
It'll be an American holiday.
I was going to say, yeah.
And Margaret says,
all right,
tell that to the older kids about walking on the railway lines. Well, I wish their parents would. I mean, there is still danger in doing that, but thanks, Margaret. Talbot Street, a lot of garbage not being cleaned up, mainly vacant buildings. Will it? I drive Talbot Street almost every day. And yes, on Monday when it's garbage day and on Thursday when it's garbage day, there is some bags out. But there was a posting on, our favorite St. Thomas social media site the other day about some discarded furniture or something. Somebody had put their garbage out. Yes, they have. There is a cleanup team that is doing Talbot Street every day now. There are a few stores where I wish they would do a little bit more sweeping just out in front of their own store or picking up litter, but our litter team gets it and does do it. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying we can do it collectively better. But I've only seen garbage on the street on garbage days, bags of garbage, and they're picked up pretty quick after that. If you find them, if you see them, and you are a downtown merchant or a customer of one of the downtown stores, please use our customer service system. Our garbage group will be happy, or our cleanup group will be happy to go get them as quick as we can. Right. So let's make sure. Yes. If we're missing cigarette butts or anything like that, we'll get the sweep up team out there more often. Graydon, I don't know for sure. Do you know when the green team starts from the downtown development board?
I believe it's after school ends. So they get summer students.
Before July 1st. Okay, so our team is still out there, and the other areas still need to be double checked with the green team. Janet mentions that there's a boarded area there's one of our stores where someone has boarded up the front and there is some trash in that area. I mentioned it to someone the other day. Let's see what happens. But please report it yourself to customer service also, and we'll see what happens. Adam asked me a question because I did leave this hanging with him 2 weeks ago where I said, am I still looking at the temporary permit idea for food trucks for events and allowing food trucks into the parks on certain days? Yes, to both questions. We have not yet got RFPs returned on concessions in the parks or at the ball diamonds, and I would love our food trucks to be filling in the difference, but I'm sorry, that's not permission yet. I have to get that answer back from our Parks and Rec and our Treasury Department. But Adam, I've taken your ideas and I've stolen every one of them and said, yeah, why don't we do some of this? And if we can, we will. And you and I will, within the next week, hear the answers to some of these long before we get into the summer months. But thank you. we want to make sure it does it right. Somebody asked me, Adam, and it might have been you, but I don't think it was, talked about, well, why do we only license 6 food trucks? And we were trying to look at why that was the case. We went from 0, then we went to 2 or 3, and now we have 6. But I was trying to ask, if we do everything, we always look at London in a 10 times piece, right? London is 10 times bigger than us. And I asked the mayor the other day when I was with him, I said, you have 60 food trucks? He said, we're not anywhere near 60 food trucks. And I said, you're right. I'm at 6, and we have to find a happy medium between the two. And I think we can share food trucks with London also. I mean, I would love it to be all St. Thomas people making the money, but where we can do it right, we should also work with it together. So that's some of the other things we're looking at is what are the rules and what do they do in some other cities about out of town trucks just showing up? Is there a fine for just showing up with a food truck? I don't know. I mean, if someone anyway, as a restaurateur that does pay taxes with bricks and mortar and talking to other restaurants, we want to make sure that there's some rules around where food trucks can be placed. But I love the idea of using portable vendors in our parks. I think it's a great idea. And on a Thursday night tonight, when a concession isn't open, what a gold mine for a concession too. So Adam, thank you for keep pushing me on this. And if I put you off anymore, let me know.
We had one question come in about One Password Park and a water filling station. They said there's no water filling station at One Password Park. There's just hot water that comes out of the taps. Do you know anything about that?
No, I asked the question after reading that someplace. Water fountains fell out of favor in parks. They're also a bit of a hassle to be able to drain and winter them, right? And because of concessions, it wasn't there. And now I don't have a full answer. I'm sorry, I'm stumbling, but that's there truly should be a way to get a drink when you need a drink, right? And many other cities have gone to kind of a water bottle filling thing, not a fountain.
I like that idea better, to be honest.
Me too. Because then we're not also selling bottles of water. We're letting people refill the containers. On the same comment, again, on one of our social media groups, many people said, yes, but I know that's the case. So we bring 6 frozen bottles to every soccer game and we have those, right? So look, I'm not trying to blame parents. Let's find a medium ground here and see if we can get this right. So,
well, yeah, I mean,
Grandma and Grandpa coming to a soccer game and not being able to have a drink either. So
I think, and they, in their defense, they said, we thought there would be a water filling station. We didn't realize there wasn't one. We brought 2 containers so we could just continually fill them up. Right. We didn't know we'll do that in the future.
Right. Well, there's a hand washing sink, and we'll need to make sure that that's the case. And look, it's a new park that truly is being opened for the first time this year. It got opened a little bit at the end of last year after the end of COVID. And so we immediately learned things like there wasn't enough parking. I mean, how do you guess that each kid playing soccer will bring 6 cars?
Well, we are in an auto town, former auto town.
I get that, but what do you go home and get another car and bring it too?
Some families have 5 cars for 3 people. So,
and then we'll look at use our customer service system, but I'll use it too to ask the question about what about water refill. And a couple more comments today about trash cans on trails and I know we've answered it before, but I think we've now attempted to put trash cans at the access to all trails end of the walkways.
Amazing.
Right? Just to make sure. Well, look, we have GFL who does home pickup in our community, right? They're a private contractor who does home garbage. And one of the comments was, well, the garbage truck goes right by there. Why can't they enter it? Why can't they empty it? Well, it's our Parks and Recs people that have to empty trash cans along our trails and in our parks. It's not the garbage truck company. So part of it is negotiating with them that they will also need to do this or at where they cross trails, they can help us, those types of things. So we're working these things out. As St. Thomas grows, we learn how to do things better each and every time, usually by comments. So thanks.
Absolutely.
Graydon, these can't be the hard questions that didn't get answered last week.
I want the hard questions. Like we've been asking for the hard questions for a couple of years now, and I'm looking forward to getting them, to be honest.
Well, and not only for my sake, I'm happy to help go get the answers and answer the questions, but there's a number of people who've now put their names in to run for council, and they need to know what people's issues are in our community too. And really, truly, what is possible for a council to do. There's many things that are provincial and federal jurisdictions that, as much if you don't like them, fine, but that's not something we can maybe fix. As I continue to say, healthcare is not a municipal issue. But I certainly talk to a lot of people about healthcare every day. I met with someone today about it. We need to make sure that people are understanding what is our responsibility. Housing is our responsibility, but the healthcare that goes with supportive housing is someone else's. So, hey, here's a neat one that's really timely. JC's Pool.
Yes, JC's Pool, ready for that.
Opens, I think it's a free swim, family swim only, on Canada Day. It doesn't say it on my, but yeah, July 1st, free swim. So come join us. We will be, after 2 years of some sort of COVID booking system at the JC Pool. This year, you do not have to pre-book your time. Please go down, pay your way in. Only a certain number of people, not only, a number of people will be allowed in the pool, and as one exits, and that whole thing happens. We have the whole schedule here too. Somebody was saying, "Well, I know there's a free swim on Canada Day, but I don't know anything else about JC's." I'll read it out quickly, but it'll be on our city website already today, up there. And if not, we'll put it up on I'll share it on my Facebook page and other things starting tomorrow too. But weekdays, Monday to Friday, 1:30 to 3:30 in the afternoon, and on nights, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, all ages, 6:15 to 7:45. Monday nights is family swim only, 6:15 to 7:45. There has to be at least one parent in the pool with whatever family has come. Wednesdays is adult and lane swim, so just the adults without the children in the pool, 6:15 to 7:45. And then on weekends, Saturdays and Sundays are 1 till 4. So $3 a person. Children 8 years or younger must have a guardian with them. 14 or older, the pool. Anyway, there's a whole swimming $10 family. And then there's a whole calendar of swimming lessons. And do you remember swimming lessons as a child? I took swimming lessons.
I never got to have any swimming lessons.
I ended up playing water polo because I took swimming lessons and became a lifeguard, that type of thing. But there was nothing worse than putting on that bathing suit, still wet from yesterday, at 7-something in the morning to go into coldest water ever to learn how to life save, right?
Yeah.
So, no, I want to die. No, but it is very important that we teach kids our water skills too and water safety. So. What else?
Yeah, no, I did go on to swim, and I got the which wasn't hard to do. Let me just say that.
You got a participation ribbon, didn't you? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, basically, up on stage at Central Elgin. It's like when I got the Spirit Award for the choir, and I was just like, okay.
That meant you tried.
I was loud.
You really liked the songs. Yeah, me too. This weekend is loaded with stuff going on. And oh wait, you have an Airfest mug. Okay, how come the mayor doesn't have an Airfest mug?
You should have. It was in the packs at Railway City Brewing during one of the Business After Fives.
That's right. Oh yeah, packs. Yeah, you win things. I don't. Yeah, no. Yeah. Still waiting for more hard questions, please. But we're going to fill time with telling you what's happening in our great community. It is Airfest Saturday and Sunday. The airport will be extremely busy. There's lots of things. You park. General parking is in off Elm. To the Elm Street side of the airport. There is a VIP parking lot at the front if you have certain passes for certain things. Once you park off the Elm Street parking lot, I believe there is shuttles in the airport grounds to take you to which of the things you're doing, going to watch the air show or the static displays. or there's the pull a herc or pull an airplane on another piece.
Haul a herc,
right? And that has another place to be. And there's lots of great things to see and do at the air show. Most of them aviation related. So we also said that we wanted to make sure we told people that this is a fun event, that the air show is a fun event, but we may have some new people who are just new to our community from some countries that have had that are a bit war torn, or Ukraine being one of them. So to warn them that although they're seeing warplanes in the air, this is a informational and fun event here in St. Thomas. So we want to make sure that everybody knew and come out and see the fun side of this also. So please. That's the air show Saturday and Sunday this week. Right.
You've got a Jubilee medals ceremony, I believe.
Yes, it's Karen Vecchio's, and I helped, with her on picking some of them out. So that's happening Friday night at the Queso station, I believe. So if you're going to be a recipient, you already know, and that will happen then. I'm doing the Youth for Christ golf tournament all day Friday, where you have to beat Joe on a certain hole, and if you do, you get your name in for a prize. Well, it wasn't hard to beat Joe last year, and it won't be hard this year. So, what else have we got?
We've got Play Hockey with the Cops that's coming
up. Oh,
up.
yeah. Where did I put that? Yeah, the St. Thomas Police. Hang out with the St. Thomas Police Service it's called, and it's every Tuesday starting July 19th. So July 19th and 26th, and August 2nd to 9th, 10 to 12, so just before lunch, in the Joe Thornton North parking lot. So the parking lot between the police station and the Joe Thornton Center. Basketball or ball hockey or both, whichever you want to come play with the cops. And it's a great thing that our police service does. I commend all the men and women of our police service, but the chief allows these. It's a great thing to get out there to meet a cop in a friendly way, and it just makes our community, a lot better. So.
Absolutely. And I've got one as well. We've got a chat coming up with Sarah Coleman from Counting on Change with Sarah Coleman. And we're going to give tips and tricks on how to save money when you're grocery shopping. And that's going to happen next Thursday at 6:30. We're going to broadcast live from the food bank in St. Thomas. So if you have any questions about that, we're going to be live for about half an hour just chatting. So send your questions in advance or join us during the live and ask them, and we'll cover all those topics.
Right. A question here from Janet saying, some people shouldn't consider running for council. I'm of the opinion anybody who feels it in here that they could do the job and wants to do the job should attempt to. Many people attempt to and don't make it. Many people attempt to and do make it. And a diversity of council or a diversity of a provincial government or a federal government really adds to it. So I agree. There probably are some people who aren't prepared to, and I'm willing to help. We have some great things to show you what being a counselor is, how much time it would take up, and some great advice as to how you would do it. And elections may be the hardest part of that. So if you're looking for that, leave us a personal message in the comments, and I will email you back and have a quick conversation with you about what it means to run for council, what you have to do to get ready for that, and what being a councillor means. I agree. You should always vote. Again, this is another case as if you don't vote, you can't complain. So, but we can't tell who's voted or not. But St. Thomas is making it as easy as it possibly can this year in our municipal government. All votes will be by phone or computer. If you want to go vote in person, stand up in a line someplace, and then someone will be there with an iPad to say, here it is, go ahead, make your vote. And it will still all be electronic. First of all, it'll help us count very quickly. It'll help us be able to coordinate this well. But we had phone and computer voting last time in the advanced poll for mayor and councillors. And I just remember how easy it was. Just about 10 o'clock one night, went ahead and voted. Right. So
yes, I love it.
From the comfort of my lazy boy. So I think we need to watch for that too. If we make it easier, I hope we've taken away any excuse not to vote. So we'll keep reminding you about that too as we get closer. August 19th is the last day you can file to run municipally. And you have to have 25 signatures. And if you're running for council, $100, or mayor, $200. You have to do some work and ask some other people about running. But it would not hurt if you discuss it with one of our councilors or myself. What's the time constraint? How much do we have to do? What is the workload? I really want to change healthcare. Well, right. You're running the wrong place. Healthcare is not a municipal responsibility, and so I'd love to have those conversations with anybody who's thinking about it. So, and Janet, thank you. It's nice to hear. We love the compliments of how well this council has worked together and what we've been able to accomplish, and lots more to come. So thanks. Hard questions. You said we had hard questions this week. I don't know
I thought we were going to have some based on some of the conversations I had online on Facebook, and we left space for this. We left space.
I know. What am I going to say next? We look a lot, and I do try to answer a lot more people through the week when I can, but we're really trying now to get people to take a look. Whatever comes up, the answer usually is, please go to customer service and put your issue in. I want to hear when it doesn't work, not that you haven't done it, right? We have a fantastic customer service system with great directors and managers in our city, and we really do want to see them shine. They do a great job of getting back to people about their issues, what needed to be done, or I'm sorry, you're in Central Elgin. No, I mean, and we do
when it comes to potholes.
Oh, I had why am I paying at the recycling center to take my green stuff to the recycling center? Well, okay, well, you put it in your green bin. She said, oh, we don't have green bins. Well, we can get you one, right? No, you can't. I don't live in St. Thomas. Well, okay, well, thank you for the conversation. I'm happy to have it and help with issues. But if the issue is you like paying higher taxes, then live somewhere else. Sorry, mayor joke.
But in terms of the question, I'm trying to think of the other things I might have seen online. Unfortunately, the people who were talking to me did not mention what exactly they were going to ask, so I can't actually bring it up. But what I do want to say is I love the fact that we're live, and I like the authenticity in that. There's no contrived nature to this.
Stumble because I don't know the answer, and that's fine. That's the part of live media that is really genuine. I
enjoy it.
Yeah.
Not when you stumble. I think you do a really good job of answering the questions on the fly.
For the most part, right?
But that's why I like doing the lives like this. It's like it's straight up. Here we are. There's no contrived nature to this. So.
And there was some other questions last week about the land we're purchasing for industrial in our community and stuff, and I answered a number of those this week also. But happy to do them, and I say this honestly. I'd rather do them on Mayor's Update, where I'm answering the same question 100 people might have, than answering the question 100 times in the grocery store aisle or at wherever I am that day out in the city. So let's please bring them on here. Let's answer them all.
So who's coming? This is the question. What industry do you have lined up? Can you answer any of that?
No, not yet. Look, first of all, this is about accumulating land so we can do that. And when that is absolutely 100% successful, we've told you ahead of time we're trying to do it and that we're in pretty good shape with it. When that part's done, we'll go to the next. I will say, as the mayor, we have a number of industries visiting St. Thomas on a regular basis saying we think we might like to come here. They don't all need 800 acres. So that's very big and specialized industries, but we have other places for people to go, and we will continue to accept them. I think we do a ribbon cutting with the Royal Containers next week. There's an industry that recently came to St. Thomas and took over what was that factory? It's amazing how quick you lose the memory of who was there. But there's a new industry that so we have that type of all the time people trying to pick St. Thomas. With the growth we've had in people, in housing, in houses, and we have to maintain a growth in industry also, and that adds to it then a growth in the servicing in St. Thomas, whether it's wastewater, water, and all the other stuff we have to do. And then we have to amenities, whether it's parks and trails and all the other stuff. Yeah, Adam, it's not the Sterling plant because that's Masco. The Sleeco, I think, was the one next to it where Royal Containers now has put up a sign. They're in there making corrugated boxes. I don't think that has anything to do with being close to Amazon. Nudge, nudge. Right, and often that will work that way too. Right, it's symbiotic. When you have when you attract an automotive industry, you get a lot of parts manufacturers. When we attract something like Amazon, we'll see people who are involved in the outside of their business, and as we attract very large industry, we'll get the same thing. Other groups that are doing similar parts of their job. So.
And we have Decoration Day coming up as well.
Well, did I not mention Decoration Day? That happens. The Legion does this. It is decorating veterans' headstones and crosses in our cemeteries with Canadian flags, and that happens this Sunday also. So it's a beautiful sight to see when you drive by the cemeteries off Sunset. Huge beauty in the number of Canadian flags that are there, and you think back, this is that long ago. Most of these are World War II or Korean conflict veterans graves, and so Decoration Day happens. So when you see those flags, you know that's what's happening. The Legion has gone out and decorated the cemeteries once a year. It's this weekend in June that we do it, and looks like we'll have nice weather on Sunday to do it. I hope so.
Yeah. And Adam Montgomery is saying the highway isn't far either, which is a huge amenity. Absolutely is.
Absolutely. And the more we attract to St. Thomas, the more likely we can further how the usability of Highbury Avenue or other roads to the 401. Each of these things, although they're hard to get done, are necessary as you attract more people and more industry. So as a community, we keep looking at growth in a really smart way and say, if I could picture this 5 years from now or 10 years from now, what would it look like? Well, I would think we would have to say if there's a very large plant out there, there would be a much better Highbury Avenue. There'd be a much better connection of transit and a number of other things that would have to happen for that to be there. So.
I heard that London was adding a transit route into the Amazon sorting plant. Is that true, or is that just a rumor?
Well, I met with Mayor Holder last week. That was one of our conversational topics. We still need to know, when will Amazon be bringing on their staffing? What shift work will they need? I mean, transit's a funny thing if you don't know how many people you have and when they have to get to work or go home.
Yeah.
And so we're asking that question, and we continue to work on, can we help them? We already do transit, but perhaps they have another thought process. And Mayor Holder has asked his staff, as I've asked ours, to we now know it's there. We see the building. We know it will open at some point soon. Can we maybe get some answers as to how many will be brought on when will they need to be to work? Can we discuss with you times that are best suited for large amounts of people to get to work, so that it isn't just everybody driving a car, and some people don't have a car. So we have to make that work. The Maple Leaf plant on the other side of London, right again, south of London, where a number of people in St. Thomas, I believe, will go to work, need the same transit. And we've currently added our on-demand piece to our industrial park, which is actually getting a very good uptake. So we're looking on what else can we do. If there's a lot of people using the on-demand system to our industrial park, we'll review our transit and maybe make a route that does that better. So it's about that time. We've looked at transit. About 2 years ago, brought in what we currently have, a new system with on-demand. We've tweaked it as we said we would on the 1 year mark. But as we get to the 2 year mark, we think we have to look at it again. Where are buses full? Because that'll tell us we maybe need more help. Where are they empty? Because maybe we can move buses to a different spot or use them in a different way. So I think you'll see between now and the new council coming in at Christmas time or into January, a further look at, and I think you'll hear this probably through the campaign for council and mayor. What else? What's the next steps for council? But if you can remember where we were,
I remember the sheets in your office
at night, and no Sundays. We are now a lot further along in transit than we used to be, and we're not perfect. But getting transit perfect is called taxis. I mean, something comes right to your house and takes you where you want to go, and that's not transit. We won't quite get there, but we want to get as close to that piece as we can, with it being complemented by other forms of transportation, either you driving yourself or calling someone else. So that's right. And we're getting a little more pressure on our paratransit now too, because it's combined a bit with our on-demand transit, and you have to book a time, and you're given a time that is really within 15 minutes of either side of the time that we could get there. Because as we do other on-demand or other paratransit, if we're done early, we'll get to you. If we're done late, it may be later, and we'll continue to live with that standard. But if we're having to not take a lot of bookings because they're booked, well, now we'll need to say, are we putting in another on-demand parabus on during the times that are the busiest? So we keep looking at it, and that's what we collect the information and then decide to make good decisions that will make transit better in St. Thomas.
Very good. And we're seeing a lot of places that are coming towards completion as well, like the Holiday Inn Express that's over by the mall. And then we have is it a retirement community that's going in across from Home Hardware?
Well, it's a seniors building, so I think it has some retirement piece to it, but it was told to me as a seniors building, not to the same degree as Seasons perhaps, but similar, that type of piece. What else is? Well, I'm sitting to you in my apartment at Elma College.
Yeah, it's amazing.
At Elma Estates. And I rather like it. Going from the 4 bedrooms to 2 bedrooms has been, where did I put my? Is the most constant question. But other than that, JoJo seems to like it. Stephanie and I are finding lots of room for ourselves. She's doing a live broadcast in the other room right now, so we've learned we can still separate from each other. But as you know, Stephanie does a lot of peer support for mental health and some other fashion stuff that she does, and so we found we can both exist in the same building and work off the same internet, and it's working fine. So very pleased.
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah. All right. Well, I think we've covered a lot of stuff. It was actually very in-depth mayor's update this week, and I'm looking for, hopefully those people will watch this one and then they'll realize that we were leaving space for them, and they'll join us next week with these questions.
And as we always ask you, if you've watched any part of Mayor's Update tonight, or if you tune in 2 days from now and say, oh, I missed it, but you tune in, please tell people, please share it, please let people know that it's out there. It's a great place to get good information on what's going on in St. Thomas, and to find out when it's going on and how to do it best. And when are the swimming lessons at JC's pool? They're on the website. Please go take a look. All of those things are we do as a service, but an open forum service of we'll answer your questions right then and now. So I read this morning, somebody said, well, I know JC Pools is open on Canada Day, but I don't know anything after that. Great, let me get a sheet. And so I went and did that and said, let's make that part. Then you'll also see us do that too. Oftentimes somebody asks the questions, I'll try and answer it, or I will just say, why don't you give customer service a try so our great department heads and managers can answer your question? And if they're not, please, if you're having any difficulty, we think our customer service system is working great now. But if you don't get a response, I'll rephrase. If you don't get a response, then let me know. Not that you don't like the response, because that can happen, right?
Yes.
But if you, right, so please. Margaret asks us, are we off in July? No, we're going to try and do shows every week still. I may do the odd one from the cottage, and Graydon may do the odd one from wherever,
Well, you never know where I'm going to end up.
His drone, wherever they let him take his drones. Right? So yeah. we're going to try and keep you informed all the way through this summer. And if it's it stays this hot, it'll be a very enjoyable summer. We've got to go do an outdoor show. We had one planned for tonight, and we really couldn't do it. So
hopefully next week at Caps Off, fingers crossed, we'll be able to pull that off.
Yeah. We like visiting there. They're good friends of ours, and they do a great job with us. But I think it adds a little bit of right on site kind of open forum also. Right?
Yes.
And you can be the live audience, and we let people give us questions from the live audience. Right? We don't show their faces, but we put their questions on, and we can answer those too. So we'll see you next week, and hopefully from Caps Off.
Take care, everybody.
Thanks.